Voices of the Anambra, our pride, our voice.
A very beautiful morning to you, Ndi Anambra. You're tuned in to Voices of Ndi Anambra, and we're live from Vona Studios. Amamaka Ezedebego.
And yes, my name is Uchechukwu Ebonam. Of course, you can call me Jasmine.
Jasmine, how are you doing this morning?
Adeo, I'm very good. I'm fine. Still in the euphoria of Valentine. You know.
By this time?
Yeah, it's not the month of love. You wear red now.
Well,
is you not in the
red
month?
and white, actually.
You see yourself?
Oh my God. Anyway, Jasmine, we have a very big, beautiful question for our people this morning.
Okay.
As you know, the political atmosphere in Anambra is quietly heating up as the 2026 local government election is fast approaching.
True.
And, we're hearing little whispers from the opposition parties. But we don't...
Wait, I'm sorry, I'm being sincere, please. Opposition parties. We've not. I'm being really blunt right now.
Sure.
I've not heard anything from the opposition parties.
That's exactly what I wanted to say right now.
Okay, now this
it's
say opposition,
like
but
just little whispers.
Because I have people who call and say, Jasmine, what's going on? Our people are marginalized. I'm like, wait, APGA just brought out their own list.
Exactly.
Your own person, if you come from your own village, you
to
understand?
Bring out their own too.
So maybe the other parties can bring out candidates from.
Thank you.
From your own community.
So
don't shout marginalize at this point.
The way it's going is looking like the field is going to be empty that day. It's just APGA because we've not seen
anything from the opposition yet. So, no candidates yet. Nothing at the moment.
That's why we're here. That's why we're here to actually discuss, to know if APGA is going to flood the elections, the local government elections, the 2026 local government elections. And with us here to discuss that properly is Barrister Chief Ifeatu Obi-Okoye, the APGA State Chairman.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
You're welcome to the studio, sir.
All right. With what we've just said, it looks like APGA is preparing to win this election, or should we say, are they waiting for opposition parties to surrender to them?
The last election in 2024 was 100% APGA. I think there were about 8 to 9, 10 parties that really participated.
For the local government election?
For the local government election. And they all lost in councillorship. They all lost, of course, in the chairmanship, the mayoral.
Yeah.
We've used that platform to really consolidate. Because when you look at the results in the by-election and, of course, the governorship, it was a process that began from the consolidation at the real grassroots. When we took everything from councillors to chairman in September 2024, they thought it was a joke. But we were really planting the seeds for the next season. So, by-election in August, we swept virtually every ward in Anambra South. And surprisingly, we also took every ward in Onitsha North Constituency 1. We thought it was going to be a very tough one, but it then became a very easy ride. We now took it to governorship election in November. You see, in Anambra, we've made 21 over 21 before.
Yeah.
But the last result is something incredible, something no political party has ever attempted to achieve in Anambra State. I've been the chairman of a big party in this state 24 years ago in PDP. Even when we were reigning in PDP, we never had that kind of result. We didn't just have 21 over 21. Out of 326 wards, electoral wards, we lost just 6 wards. 7 wards, actually. We won 319. And we won 97% of the polling units. That's an incredible result. So the whole opposition in Anambra is non-existent. They don't exist. Those ones who have the courage to come back are the ones doing what is expected of them. They're doing fresh registration.
Is that why up to now we've not heard of any primary election from the opposition party?
When
or
they're still looking for
candidates?
membership.
But is it still an election if there is no opposition party to contest?
The law allows it. If other parties do not have reason to join the fray, then we'll go on and have the election in accordance with the provisions of the law. And of course, we must also score a certain percentage, even when we are running alone. So it will not be just a question of winning. We must win and score the required percentage when you are the only person in the race. It's a pity, but we have no regrets. It's a product of what we've had in 3 years of Professor Soludo's leadership in Anambra State. We've been able to chase the opposition out of order. The level of politicking, the organization of the party, under respectively my leadership, has also stifled the opposition out of all sorts of ideas. So we would have loved them to be in the field so that we can beat them just like we beat them in the governorship.
So would you say that the opposition party, they're afraid of Soludo's popularity, or they're afraid that they're going to fail woefully if they actually come to the ballot?
No, the election remained free, credible, substantially credible, and nobody has challenged that aspect. And it was based on some good foundation. You see what is now happening on the northern side of Anambra State. We are waiting for it. When the express road runs from 33 through to Nsugbe down to Aguleri, Umuleri Junction, that will be it for me. That will be it for me. After that, I can go home and I say, we've done it. Because that will close the chapter in the politics of development in Anambra State. Never before. Under Ngige regime, we thought we had had the best of roads. But we're seeing something new. We are seeing something that's never there. I wonder sometimes when I pass it through Agolo, and I say, a governor was here. This was his road. You go down towards Oga, you remember a governor was here, even though for 17 days. How do they feel when they are passing through such level of development? And we are going round again. We will go through Idemili down to Nobi, cut the 3-3. That's part of Mr. Governor's master plan. The Nnewi one heads to Ihiala. A governor was there some years ago. A governor was in Nnewi, acting governor as it were, for a while. Look at the level of development. So when we take it down through 3-3 and come up again and link it back to Oka, that closes the chapter. That unfortunately is going to lift the bar so much. Whoever is coming after Soludo must be well prepared. It's not about saying you want to be governor. The vision must be clear. The strength and intellect must be strong. And Anambra people have seemed to understand, they now seem to understand the clear difference between the noise and the shared guts for development. That is what the opposition is suffering today. And that is why they have difficulty in engaging us in even little elections like councillorship. You won't believe, I must tell you, but I won't name them. A lot of people in other parties who wanted us to fix their cousins, their brothers, as councillors in APGA.
When they are not party members?
When they are not party members. A friend of mine in Abuja sent me a nasty text. He had called me several times. And he said, is it because of small councillor you're not answering my colleague?
Yeah, councillor not want to small councillor.
And I was like, what's your business? Why do you want to put your relation.
Since it's a small.
Since it's a small thing. There are quite a number of them, I won't mention them. Ex-governors were involved. Traditional rulers, every kind of big man you think about, some in the US. That tells you that we have really established ourselves. So it's not about these opposition parties. The people of Anambra have now come to terms with the fact that this party, APGA, has come to stay in Anambra. And we are going to prove it at the next presidential election. That is the target for me. For me as the state chairman of the party, it's not about how many seats we are going to win at the National Assembly. That one is a forgotten because we win it. But we'll use the next presidential election to define the strength of APGA in Anambra State and retire some national politicians, in quotes.
All right.
Bet me we're going to do that.
But, we have voices of Anambra, of course. The voice of the people matter here. And we've heard the voice of some APGA members who say that the interest form, and even the nomination form, the cost is quite high. Why?
Quite expensive.
I don't know if we're
like what it
taking
was in 2024.
It was cheap then. It was,
Now, thank God he said it was cheap.
It was-
What happened now? What's going on?
It was-
Because I mean, what buy? I want to be the mayor of my room. Yes, now. They call me honorable.
Mayoral is not cheap. It's not cheap. After the Supreme Court judgment,
Okay.
going to the local government became a very lucrative thing. Councillors go to work once a week and make as much as 400,000. And you think that paying 100,000 special expression of interest is big money, then you're not ready. But one interesting thing, there were too many people who were interested. We've been dealing with the crisis and the challenges of those who felt they would have won or who felt they won. So I don't think the complaint has, for us, been the issue of expression of interest.
Okay.
It's about the huge number of people who are interested in
But
going.
is it not a good thing? They have a large number of...
It's good, but it also
Political
tells you
participation.
about the workforce.
Okay.
There are a lot of young men are out of job, and getting a job which you go to work once a week and make between 400 and 500,000 a month is a big job.
True.
So you understand the huge. But on a comparative level, if you look at what is happening around other states, Enugu State, Ebonyi State, Kaduna, they pay about 30 million naira to pick up the form for chairmanship. We didn't go that far. We were sensible and reasonable enough to know that we have our constraints, economic constraints in the southeast. But again, we need money to run the party. We don't depend on the government to give us money to run the party. Where else do we get the resources to run the good activities we've been running within the party? So, for those who have paid, you're very much welcome. Remember that you're not going to contest with anybody. As a matter of fact, they don't need to do posters. So, they don't even need to campaign. All they need to do is to keep resources for agents. You need to take care of your agents on election day.
Okay.
Beyond that, the election is done and dusted. So whatever small logistics was collected now takes care of all the costs of election. When I ran for election a couple of years ago, at the level of state assembly, it cost me up to 10 million naira to run for state assembly in 1983.
1983.
83.
That's quite far back.
10 million.
I don't know. Where were you?
10 million of 1983 now. How many million now?
To do posters, to buy a vehicle. I bought 2 vans that had my posters, and we were crisscrossing the place. But when you now know that becoming a candidate of APGA, you're already a councillor, ABBA. For whatever costs, you go and pick it up and go. But I don't think there's any serious
We learned that they have to pay a certain amount to ANSEC.
Oh, yes.
So is it the same as a nomination form, or is it a different payment?
No, the internal nomination form
Okay.
for us is our own small business. At ANSEC, it's a statutory body that also needs some resources to run. I pitied ANSEC the last election.
Why?
Getting the costs, getting the money, because ANSEC came on board very quickly just before that election. I know it cost them a little over 300 million to engage that election, printing of ballot papers, getting the ballot bags, even the personnel that had to be used for the election. So it was quite a rough thing for ANSEC that period. So ANSEC requires a lot of logistics.
So yes, sir. So we want to know what was the exact amount they have to pay to ANSEC, because we've also gathered that they are complaining that the money is also quite expensive.
Yes, our party in particular, and of course other political parties had engaged ANSEC on the initial amount that was announced. And we are happy that just a few days ago, I think in the last 48 hours, ANSEC been able to reduce the sum payable for chairmanship from 5 million to now 2 million. Yeah. And for councillorship, they've been able to reduce it from 1 million to 250. It makes it quite cheaper now.
Okay.
Cheaper, and I think more affordable, not cheaper, rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, more affordable.
More affordable.
More
That's the
affordable,
right
actually. So far so good. It actually means that you're not even scared of losing this election.
This election, it is when
August
I see
26.
when I see the opposition that I become apprehensive of whether we will lose. You
But
cannot,
anything could happen.
yes, including death. But we don't pray for that. But for now, I'm not seeing any opposition. The real opposition, they're still registering membership. You watched last week. We have not seen even their governorship candidate since after the election. He was also not part of their retreat. So they have their problems, and they are not ready enough to engage us in this election that will be coming up in August. We know we will win this election like we won before, because we are more fortified now. We are much stronger now. But like I said, the one election you look out for us is the presidential election. We want to demystify a lot of national politicians.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll come back to that. But there's a question on the lips of majority of Anambrarians, of Indianambra currently,
Yes.
Following the recent activities from the party, dropping some of the local government chairmen and returning some. So we want to know, is there still a level playing ground? Why were some of the local government chairmen dropped and some of them were returned?
Okay, first of all, borrowing your word, dropping. It came in batches.
Okay.
The first batch stemmed from 5 mayors. If you look at their tenure, those 5 mayors had been there for over 4 years.
Okay. Some argue that they've only rightfully been on the seat for 2 years.
2 years as elected mayors. 2 more years as appointed mayors. What's really the difference between an appointee in this office and an elected one in the same office? What has changed is probably the resources and the remuneration. It is the same office. It is the same power they yielded for 4 years. But whatever the semantics involved, what is important is that we have a tenure of 4 years. 2 years.
2 years.
Yeah.
And these people have been in this office for a continuous period of about 4 years. So it was necessary to move them. They will be moving, some of them will be moving out, even to higher grounds. So you don't stay static You must try some other departments. You must try some other opportunities. So that was the first set. Then there was the second category. In the second category, I think another 5 lost out.
Okay.
Yes, they were the people that went for the primaries or the screening, as it were. They went for the screening, and in the screening, so many things came up. Had to look at capacity, Ifeatu, and local circumstances, including the questions of zoning, as it were, and the exigencies of maintaining certain balances in various areas. So for different reasons, some were dropped again at the second category. But one thing I must tell you that none was really dropped for inability to perform. But we had to move the ladder higher. And in moving the ladder higher, you begin to look at those local factors, like the zoning system, like even the capacity to meet the new expectation.
Okay.
These were things that were looked at. And of course, in a field that is lined up with a lot of people, you needed to give hope and opportunity to others. Many years ago, when Zik of Africa was asked, do we stop pool betting? He said, no. People will go every Saturday, fail. Go back next Saturday. You know what? It keeps them alive and creates hope. If you returned 21, you have killed the expectation and hope of other politicians. Bringing back a new 11 in the midst of old 21 has also created hope for other politicians. One of the biggest things that happened for us, we know from the party we got to. The incoming, as it were, mayor of Obaru is a member of my state executive. The incoming mayor of Onitsha South is the publicity secretary of my party. If you know what impact that has made on party members, they now see that from being ordinary party officers, they can rise to become commissioners tomorrow. Just like Commissioner Ifeatu, who is the commissioner for petroleum.
Yeah.
So people should see these opportunities in the system. When you don't make such, when you don't make this system fluid like that, people will get static, and it breeds a lot of problems for the system. So it's good that some people are retained for purposes of sustaining continuity, and it's good some new people come in to create the real balance, hope, and expectation amongst the system.
And we also take a look at the aspect of rotation. There are some places some local government areas that believe in rotation.
Of course.
Does APGA honor the rotation that they put up in those local government areas?
We tried, subject to all circumstances. We tried. But you must know something. Even in rotating, you don't give power to your enemy.
Okay.
You don't just rotate and take power and give to your enemy because you want to rotate. So while rotating, you must also be sensitive about yesterday. So it's a process. It's a combination of factors. So I don't just rotate. And somebody I knew that in the governorship election of November who worked against my party, I go and give him power because it is their zone that will produce. That is not politics. So we don't say that even such people who are now part of us will not rise in the system. But even in the banks, you go through temporary employership, and maybe for 6 months before you get permanent. They're here. We'll keep watching them and make sure that they are really part of us. Imbibe the real ideology of APGA. APGA is not like the usual political party. It's a movement that is grounded on local norms. And the pillars that drive us are both ecclesiastical, if you may not know. It has to do even with the commercial content of the people, the businessmen, the traders, and the ordinary street people. That's why they keep saying, Nanka Bunkani. People think it's a small mantra. Whatever happens, on election day, Nanka Bunkani, let's go and vote for them. That's the strength of APGA. So you must understand that this is one place when you come, you're at home. It is not one party you jump in, and tomorrow you jump out to another place. And you find that those who have done that, most times are costs. They find it difficult to rise above what APGA had done for them in the past. Watch their records. Most of them who left us like that remain costs. They will be jumping about and they will remain like that. They will never improve on what APGA has done for them. Because it's an intricate aspect of our living as Ndibo. A lot of story will have to be told about APGA someday. Because at the time of the struggle some years ago, when some people were talking about, their Biafra agitation, some also said, no, this Biafra agitation is not maintainable again. Why don't we follow through the political process? This was the thinking that put APGA on the platform. That was how we started. That was why it involved the ecclesiastics. That was why it involved the market people. But a lot of people don't know the secrets of APGA. They look at it like any other political party. But someday, we'll tell that story. For now, we are happy to sustain that strength.
In the Electoral Act just signed into law by Mr. President, Electoral Act 2026 as amended.
Yes.
The primary election model, they said no more indirect primaries, and then there's a process of consensus, which I've seen APGA do. They did it for the Anambra South Central election, as well for the Onitsha North, and as well for looking at this present local government election as well. I think you did more of consensus as well, to a large extent.
Yes.
Now, are you comfortable with that pattern of primary elections?
Well, let's start with the Electoral Act. It talks about direct primaries.
Yes.
Right, beautiful. For me, it strengthens the party. But we need to do our own work before we get it right. We have to have a real register of membership. We have to have membership cards and so on. And we must have credible primaries. Some time ago, I think Professor Soludo even was the first beneficiary of that. Some time ago in PDP, many years ago, it was Olisa Metu who was the chairman of that process. We had direct primaries at the polling booth level. That election was won by Professor Soludo. And what Olisa did then was that after every election, he will post or paste the result of the election at the police station. Collation was done at the police station. So if we want to get it right, we can get it right. Are all of us doing the right thing? First of all, card-carrying registered members of the party will be allowed to come and vote. Results will be recorded before everybody. Those recorded results ought not to be changed for any reason. You find circumstances, I even saw it in these primaries we did, where results that were captured in a video, the returning officer returns with another result. This is man-made. It's not system-made. There were those who were appointed monitors to go and monitor and report back to us what the returning officers did. They went there and turned themselves returning officers, conducted the election. Unfortunately, they didn't have a result sheet. So that is one aspect of it. But the other one, we've started the consensus, as it were, the conclave, as it is called. It's a subject of a lot of internal discussion now.
Yeah.
And we're trying to perfect it. If we get it right, then that will stem the tide of internal problems.
crisis.
Yes. Whatever we do, we must also remember that every politician, every true politician, comes with a brilliant idea and ambition. You come with an ambition to become a councillor. You come with an ambition to become a mayor, House of Assembly, even to become a governor or National Assembly mayor. We must be careful in also doing a process of internal selection, that we don't kill the personal ambition of politicians. That must be taken into account. One will be more satisfied if he has the opportunity to put himself out democratically. If the process is correct, he'll be happy when he loses. Then you go into a room and select somebody. He may not grumble, but you killed his democratic right. But like I said, it's all still a process of discussion, and we want to fine-tune on that. And if we get it right, without going out to the field to put in a lot of energy and money, fine. That is real consensus.
Okay.
Because when you're talking about consensus, it must be real consensus.
True.
It's not a question of anointing.
When you're on it, will you whenever?
All right. The journey to March 17 has started. Of course, Governor Soludo has, won his re-election. Would like to know, what are your expectations of him in the next 4 years?
Governor Soludo has made us forget that he's moving into to the second term. We finished the election, and the man did not really have a break. He continued working as if, and you see, unlike before, we're not even getting ready for March. I remember when we collected we all went to INEC.
Yeah.
Collected, we went briefly to ICC. I thought Governor Soludo was going to sit down with us and dance. He finished talking and left for work. From there, he went for inspection somewhere. So, like he keeps saying, he's racing for time. He has a lot to do for the people of Anambra State. We are proud as a party that our brand is the best. When you have somebody like Governor Soludo as your brand, then you don't have much to do in electioneering. For us in the party, we will keep praying for him to be sustained in energy. His vision is very clear. Anambra can never be the same by the time Governor Soludo completes 8 years. I pity, and I say it with every sense of responsibility, I pity who is coming after Governor Soludo. If you don't have the same energy, if you don't have the same mindset, Anambra people may just stone you in your first term in office. This is a man that wakes you up by 3 a.m., 2 a.m., 4 a.m., and in the morning he's out there doing his exercise. You wonder, does he ever sleep? Where is this energy coming? And he's not a young person. I think Governor Soludo is about 65.
Yeah.
I said, I wonder. One day I was asking him, what do you drink?
Go buy it.
Exactly.
But then,
but God has given him not just the strength, the intellect to know the roadmap. He knows it. He could be stubborn about certain views. But at the end, you see his capacity to engage in areas that you will not want to touch as a politician. You remember when we started? Churches that were built along canals and so on, had to knock them. Who there? Catholic churches, how dare you go and touch a Catholic fence those days? But today everybody has come to accept we did the wrong thing before. Cease it at home. What we now see, and that is what we must try to find out, where it is coming from. Who are these people who are putting advertorials of fear that is no more on ground? You will see somebody go on Facebook to warn us. If you come out next Monday, anything that happens to you, nothing. The only thing that is stopping people now is just this mentality of fear. Government of Anambra State has really engaged these people. 62 camps destroyed. We must start coming out gradually. So for him, I must keep thanking him for his attitude to leadership, his attitude to governorship, based on clear roadmap, clear visions, and a stubborn penchant for development and excellence. That stubborn penchant for excellence has made him, if it's you that stand by the way, you have to be knocked down. Sorry. At the end, it is the success that justifies it. It is not how many knocks we get while heading to success. So I like him to the extent that he remains a Fabian tactician. If the Fabian is voted, at the end will justify it. It's not how you navigate to get to the end. For those who want to borrow from his vision of leadership, they must understand that you must not continue with how it used to be. You must be disruptive, positively disruptive, in order to create this change. This was one of the things in my little book I wrote when I was running for chairmanship. I said that is the aspect that attracted me. Being positively disruptive. You must engage situations that were hitherto untouchable because you want to develop a place. Don't say, if I touch it, that they will say this, that they will, no, they can boo you the first day. The same people that booed you the first day, when you succeed, will come back and glorify you.
So you have no issue with the shutdown of the main market for 1 week and also subsequent shutdown of Nnewi market again.
Was it a surprise? He won?
Because some people are actually of the opinion, someone called in and said, oh no, APGA lose the election. APGA will be losing the election. So what do you stand with that? Do you believe that APGA can lose any election?
Did it come as a surprise? There was a video I sent to Mr. Governor from my homeboy, somebody from my village. He was like telling me to thank Governor Soludo. These were some of the young boys that were very critical. But he stemmed the courage and went to market 3 weeks ago. From there, he did a private video, sent it to me. I sent it to Mr. Governor. With time, people will begin to realize it's for your own good. Does Governor Soludo have a shop in the market? So why won't you come out on Monday and there is one aspect people do not look at. Monday for business is spiritual. Ask any businessman, ask any trader. You can't borrow on a Monday. He would rather ask you to come back on Tuesday. It is spiritual. So for many years, they have attacked our spiritual commerce, and we don't know that. How will we make money? People use money to Monday to prepare themselves for the week. Try it. Go elsewhere. Go to borrow money on a Monday morning. He'll tell you to come back on Tuesday. If you are so desperate, he will ask you to come back in the evening on Monday so that I'll be able to sell some things. we call it in Igbo parlance, Njafia. So for many years now, we have been in Njafia because we killed the spiritual Monday that you use to prepare yourself for weekly engagement and commerce. We can't continue like that. And that is the aspect of Governor Soludo that really excites me, because the short-term thinker, they say, we won't vote for APGA. It's not true. Before the election, they will realize that what was done was for their own good. And engaged people who try these things are not people who are really indigenous to Anambra State. Go and look at it. Most of them, in as much as Anambra is home for all, you always find out that the people who cause this trouble are not real indigenes of Anambra State. So we must begin to look at, why is it happening in Anambra State? Why is it not happening in Enugu? I live in Enugu. I have a home in Enugu. Ogbete is there on Mondays. Abakaliki Big Market is there on Mondays. Over a year ago, you go to Umuahia, where Nnamdi Kanu comes from. The markets are open on Mondays. The banks are open on Mondays. So why Onitsha? Why in Nnewi? This is the discussion we must engage. We must begin to find out why the heartbeat of commerce of the South is being attacked on Mondays, both physically and spiritually. And that is why it requires somebody of strength and courage like Governor Soludo to engage it. And we must back him up.
All right. That was a very insightful one with Chief Barrister Ifeatu Obi-Okoye, the State Chairman of APGA. Ndi Anambra, Unanugia. He is very sure that the opposition in Anambra State is dying, and that he is unperturbed about the outcome of the upcoming 2026 local government elections. But we're going to leave you to also reminiscence and drop your own 1 cent and 2 cents in the comment section about what you think about the upcoming 2026 local government Anambra elections. Once again, I'm Amaka Ezedebego. Do not forget to like, share, subscribe, and drop your comments.
Although I still have an issue with the aspirants. So, woman no day for them.
Woman.
That's a very wonderful
story for another day. Ifeatu Obi-Okoye, thank you so very much. My name is Uchechukwu Ebonam Jasmine. See you on the next episode.
Voices of the Anambra, our pride, our voice.